In this video, I want to talk about why I believe it's important and valuable to include emotions when you're talking about dog behavior, understanding dog behavior, or influencing dog behavior. And I've many reasons for doing so, but one of the main reasons is that the emotional state of a dog, so the way a dog is feeling, has an enormous impact on the welfare of the dog. So if you want to safeguard and improve dog welfare, you need to include the emotions, because the emotional well-being is just as important as the behavioral and the biological well-being of the dog. And I've written an article on the welfare needs of dogs. If you want to read more about it, I hope I remember, I'll include a link in the description of this video. And another reason that I have found it to be so important to include emotions is because I'm human and I communicate and talk with humans about their dogs, and I have to explain why a dog is doing what it's doing to humans. And we humans are very emotional creatures. And I've found that if you include emotions and explain dog behavior while also talking about the feelings of the dog, it really encourages people to show more empathy towards their dogs. So talking about and including emotions encourages people to be more empathetic. And they also, because you can use analogies, so you can compare situations, you can say, how would you feel if? And then compare a situation to a situation that the dog may be in. And then they will understand how their dog is feeling, and that will really change the way they treat their dogs. So if you can explain that raising your voice or taking on an intimidating posture towards your dog, and the dog changes its behavior to your liking, when you include emotions, you can explain that the dog may be doing so out of fear because it feels threatened. And then you really see people start to understand and think like, well, I don't want my dog to feel threatened by me. And then I can explain why or how you could also influence behavior using rewards, and what then happens to the dog, that if it knows how to earn a really delicious reward, for example, the dog feels pleasure and the dog starts to change its behavior out of positive expectations, and it will feel good when it earns the reward. And that really convinces people to start using rewards instead of raising their voice. Just an example. And you can also explain why dogs become frustrated, or why some dogs approach things that they find frightening or threatening. When you compare that to situations that a human may be frightened or threatened, then you can really see them understanding and being like, oh yeah, I'd feel the same. I'd probably do the same. And you know, it's not like we're the same. I'm not saying that dogs and humans are the same. I don't want to compare dogs to humans one-on-one, because we're totally different species, different animals. But by including emotions, I really have found that people understand their dogs better and are more empathetic and are more likely to choose ways of influencing dog behavior which is better for the dog's welfare. So including emotions is not only important to assess welfare and if you want to improve dog welfare, it's also really important for humans to better understand their dogs and to encourage more empathy towards dogs.